Welcome to It Starts With Whiskey, the podcast where every conversation begins with a sip of whiskey and takes us on a journey through the diverse landscapes of life. I'm Ryan.
I'm Thee.
And I'm Jojo.
Together we'll embark on an adventure filled with spirited discussions fueled by our love for whiskey and ignited by our passion for exploring the world around us.
And of course, no conversation is off limits. From thought-provoking debates to lighthearted banter, expect a healthy dose of controversy as we navigate through the complexities of life.
So grab your favorite glass, pour yourself a dram, and join us on It Starts With Whiskey, where every episode is an adventure waiting to unfold.
Welcome to episode 6. This episode is It's All Fair in Love, War, and Whiskey. We decided to lighten things up a little bit since we've planned on recording 2 episodes in one day, and we've kind of had a couple cocktails.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So a little on our rules today. We are not editing this episode before we post it. So Joe, you need to be a little careful. I need to be a little careful.
Oh, dear Lord.
And Athena is going to keep us in line.
I watch her eyes. She's sitting right across from
She's
me,
like,
and I watch
there's
her
no
eyes.
fucking way I'm babysitting you two today.
Good.
So just like I said, we've done our other episode 5 was earlier. We took a taco break, had some tacos, and now we're going to start this one.
We're ready to go. So we're gonna do a bunch of questions. We, in light of the fact that a couple episodes ago we talked about AI with everybody, we decided to take advantage of that Chat GPT feature that we have, and we asked Chat GPT to give us a couple of interesting podcast questions that we could use to find out more, maybe about each other, to tell you a little bit more about ourselves. And maybe a couple of these questions might get us to slip up a little bit. Who knows? We just hope to have a good time here. So, since Ryan mentioned that, we're recording 2 episodes a little bit different instead of covering what's happened in the last couple of weeks, let's talk about what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Joe, what do you got going on?
You know what? I am not doing anything. I'm not traveling. I just got to work at home. I'm on bed rest. That's it. Woo-hoo.
Are you going to be able to lay low?
You know what? It's going to be difficult. So, yes, I'm going to try really hard to not get myself into any trouble. But I have a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff to catch up on. So this might just be the ticket.
What about you, Thee?
Yeah. So, I guess Joe and I are switching places for the next couple of weeks because I actually have a work trip planned. Heading off to Washington, D.C. In a week from Monday. Taking advantage of that trip, and when the work is done, I'll be staying in town and sliding over to Charleston, Virginia, or Charlottesville, Virginia, to see my brother and his family and their kids. Pretty excited. My brother just got a Corvette. He got his dream car from when he was in high school.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah.
What year?
I think it's 99 to 2003, somewhere in there. Okay. So it's one of the
older models.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sweet. I've seen some pictures. He took me on like a FaceTime drive with it. Like, I'm pretty excited to see it. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep,
open it up on the road and squeal some tires.
Yep. My brother's always been good about letting me drive his vehicles. This is how I got my F-150. So yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen them. I think it's been about a year.
So you're saying you might get a Corvette after this?
No. Corvette's not my dream car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Garage first.
Lamborghini was my
You need a garage to put your dream car.
I do need a garage,
yeah,
yes.
Good call there, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what about you, Ryan? What do you got going on?
So since Zoe won't hear about this until after, Eve and I are trying to figure out how to make it down to Columbus for her 21st birthday on Wednesday.
That's cool.
I mean, mostly so I can go drink, but
so you can hit those
my college day bars and
there you go. Will your kid let you go out with them?
Zoe would.
Absolutely.
Zoe will be fine. Yeah. I mean, maybe Eli's driving us back, but
it's a strange world. Lex would let me go out with them too. I wasn't going to go out with my parents when I turned 21.
Hell no.
I mean, in all fairness, Zoe's not really that crazy. I don't think.
She's a good kid.
She is a good kid.
Yeah.
But speaking of Zoe, her radio show at Ohio State is going to be back on the air after they went through a year of somebody trashed the studio. They got kicked out. Not on her show, but some of the other shows. So I am going to give them a plug. ArouseOSU.com.
All right.
The show is called Conversion Therapy, and I think it's on Wednesdays 2 to 3. It's online only, but
Will it be recorded,
ArouseOSU.com. Yeah, you can usually go back and listen to the previous week's show.
Okay.
They only keep one of them up, but
Okay.
yeah, they do a great job. I'm
That's awesome.
very impressed. So if
Can't wait
anybody
to
wants
check
to
it out.
listen, check it out.
All right. So, Ryan, what are we tasting in episode 2 of today in our first pour?
Okay, so speaking of Columbus, there is a distillery. There are a couple distilleries in Columbus that I like. One being Watershed Distillery, which is literally right up the street from Zoe's apartment. And we're going to do a straight bourbon whiskey aged 4 years, 100 proof.
Kind of young.
Yeah, pretty young, but they've been in business for 10 years. It says, so I'll just read you a little bit about Watershed. Watershed Distillery's bottled and bond straight bourbon whiskey is carefully blending of our finest bourbon barrels. If we start slurring our words a little bit here.
Well, I was about to tell you, I went to go smell the whiskey and I smelled my microphone. This could be a lot of fun.
And we haven't even drank that much.
No.
But yeah, we cheated a little bit.
Tacos.
It says, where are we at here? 100% distilled, aged, and bottled on site in Columbus. So they're not pulling from other other manufacturers, MGP or any of those other places.
No sourcing, right?
No.
That's what that's called.
Oh, there you go. You're on it.
Oh, watch out for me.
We're proud to share a bottled in bond bourbon after years of anticipation. 100 proof from a single season featuring robust flavors. I will not read the flavors until we've had a chance to do it. But I will give a shout out to Amy at Watershed. I reached out to them 3 years ago. And they also help sponsor our OSU Alumni Club golf outing here in West Michigan and donate some tours and some other stuff for us. So I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Amy.
Amy.
Thank you.
So what are you smelling?
I smell sweet. I smell smooth and sweet. I'm not getting a harsh alcohol.
I just smelled my microphone.
Joe, let us know when you join the club.
I was like, I'm not smelling the sweet. Oh, God.
Dear Lord.
Oh,
Now, you can't see, but Joe's
Joe.
face. We didn't bring any ice. Oh, there is ice cubes
yep,
here.
there is.
I mean,
we
that's.
can open it up.
You want a cube? Joe's in a little bit of pain here. She didn't take her medication today because we were going to have a cocktail. And
That's right. Clearly, Joe is not good at bed rest because Joe is out today,
I'm with my pals.
4 days after surgery. Gotta love her dedication.
Something. Or stupidity. I'm not sure.
it is a
which.
little sweet on the nose.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm getting a caramel.
I mean, I do smell a little alcohol, though.
yeah.
No, I forgot to do the roll in the glass. And
Maybe that's why I was so. Ooh, it's so strong. I don't know. It just hit me strong.
you know what? I kind of actually got some fruity notes.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know you said earlier you don't.
That's
get
just
smooth-
me. Like, I struggle with bourbon, any whiskey, and fruit. Like, I'm hoping my practicing doing this with you guys and talking about what we taste like might open me up. But what are you getting?
So it was a little sweet, and then in the back of my palate, there was a little slight anise. I know Joe had to bring that. Licorice. How about if I say
Why don't you
licorice?
just say licorice? Because all I can think about is butt.
It does not taste like
It
butt.
does not taste like butt.
I
That's why
think
I'm
it's
like,
pronounced anise.
Anise?
it doesn't have to sound so naughty.
Okay.
You know, I did at the back of my palate. I got a sweet taste after I opened it up.
Was that when you swished it in your mouth?
I did not.
I
swish.
did not do that yet. I should try it.
I'm telling you,
This
gives it a
one's-
whole different flavor.
This one is woody for me. So maybe it's the barrel.
Oh,
Right.
little oak.
Yeah.
Charred oak.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as smoky as that AI whiskey that we had. Like,
that stuff
so there's
sucked.
it is not charred even, but I am getting that. But yeah, a nice sweet. This is really good.
Okay. So
I'm kind of surprised you're not so interested.
I'm not.
aromas of toasted oak, toffee, and orange zest.
I can taste the toasted oak.
The toasted we got, yeah. But that was on the nose.
Toffee. Okay, all right. Before we go, okay,
Oh,
can you
did I
tell the
say
difference?
Toffee?
Yeah, toffee, caramel, butterscotch. Are they not all similar?
They are very similar.
Yeah,
Why don't they just say
Toffee.
sweet?
or just call it all caramel.
Caramely sweet.
Okay. What other? What about what
The
taste?
tastes. Flavors of honey and oak, vanilla, black tea, and warming baking spice.
All I got was the oak.
Okay.
Black
That's what I
tea.
tasted.
Baking spice.
Now I got to try again.
So I like, okay, from the website. So this is a 50%. Did you already say that? It's 50% ABV and 100 proof. So this is
Yeah.
kind of like a medium level. It's with the 100 proof. It's like kind of
more
in the
than
middle
what-
of the.
More than the Irish whiskey we were drinking
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah. So from the description, I thought this was super interesting. Kind of talks about the fruit, right? So from their website, to create this balanced blend, we finish hand selected bourbon whiskey in barrels previously used to age our very own apple brandy, and combine it with straight bourbon whiskey, yielding an unparalleled, expertly balanced drinking experience. So they are kind of delving into that fruit. Maybe that's where you got that.
With the
Maybe
brandy.
it came from the apple brandy, the barrels.
I think
Interesting.
I have some others, a few other, anybody that supports us, not the podcast, but I always sign up for their special releases, and I'll go down when I go see the kids and pick up a bottle of something. They do drawings, and
Fun.
so it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bottled and Bond, Watershed Distillery, straight bourbon whiskey, aged 4 years, 100 proof.
Now the website also talks about a deep cherry finish.
Those guys on that YouTube video we were talking about last episode, a lot of stuff was cherry for them.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
They
getting
always
cherry on
are
this.
talking cherry.
I am. I don't get a lot of fruit, but see, this is what we talked about. Like, this is why I like talking about this stuff before we read any reviews or any information from the website. But I mean, I feel convinced that I've got a cherry.
I get it.
Yeah.
And it's more maraschino or the Joe's not tasting the cherry.
Joe's not tasting any more of this whiskey.
But it's like the old fashioned cherries.
Yes.
The syrup.
Yep.
That's
there
what
you
it
go.
is. A little sweeter.
Yeah.
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 No, is it horrible? No. Would I drink it again? Yes. Is it my favorite? No. But I would definitely, when we go down to Ohio, I would definitely go there and try their different selections.
And maybe some of their cocktails they mix. Because they have a restaurant and a bar there at the distillery. Food is tremendous. I mean, it's really good food. At least the couple times we've eaten there.
I think it would be fun. I mean, I would want to try more.
Yeah. And I have some other stuff downstairs I'll let you try
Okay.
before we make a drive to Columbus. So,
How's that basement looking these days, Ryan?
it is looking full. One thing while Eve was gone this week, I decided I was going to clean the basement because we had our tailgating stuff still from last football season, the kids home this summer. It was a freaking disaster. So I spent probably 4 to 6 hours yesterday dealing with cleaning, and I have my desk done, so I have my studio.
Nice.
Not that we ever use my studio, but we're upstairs in the kitchen when we record this.
Yeah.
But I have it. I got a little rail thing. The basement's clean. But
Nice.
I texted you guys yesterday, and I'm like, holy shit. I have a serious problem.
Gotta stop.
Like, either I need a bigger house, or you guys need to take some of this stuff home with you. One or the other.
Or just come over and drink more of it.
That's true.
Yeah, I would go for the latter.
Yeah. I have extra rooms. Everybody's able to stay here. It's not like, kids are gone, so.
It's true.
So, Joe, you watching anything? I know we're going to be kind of random in this episode, so just flow with us. You watching anything good on TV or streaming or?
I have my certain shows that I tape and I watch. So I really I like Will Trent. I like watching Queen Latifah on Equalizer because she's beautiful and she's a badass. And I really like watching FBI, the original. Those are kind of my go-tos. But I'm also dabbling in other things when I have time. So a lot of times I come home from work at night and I'll sit at the desk and I'll throw up my iPad and I'll just maybe play something on Netflix or a show I missed to keep me occupied while I'm working. Sophie, what are you watching these days?
Yeah, well, speaking of Netflix, I just finished watching the Bridgerton series. So shout out for anyone who's been watching that.
Sexy.
It is a good story. It's a period piece.
I was going to say, is it set back and
It is.
What-
It is. So
what are the years?
So have you heard of the Mad King George in England?
Yeah.
So the story is set kind of around that time frame. So I don't know what that is, like 1600s or 1700s. It's no, because they often talk on the show about going to the Americas. So it must be 1700s or 1800s. So it's awesome. It's got the old school fashion, but there's something about it that they like modernize the story, and they're also discussing, so it's fiction, sort of based off of, facts a little bit. Mad King George is, a part of the storyline, and that is true. But they also are addressing some things that are similar to our social, like there's cultural differences in the people. There's a huge story about race, and the blending of the two primary races in this storyline, and it's really good. And to what Ryan said, there's definitely romance, and then even some really good
Cha-cha-cha.
cha-cha-cha. What about you, Ryan? What you been watching? Speaking of cha-cha-cha.
Well, since Eve's been gone, excuse me, I've been out to the bars a lot. But when I get back, there are a few
Dirty old man.
a few shows I've been watching. One is like Dinner Time Live with David Chang. And I think a lot of that is around just getting inspiration for our show and seeing how stuff live could be. Mm-hmm. And I really like that show.
Plus your love for food.
Yeah.
And cooking.
And I love that. Yeah. And then I watch a lot of Somebody Feed Phil or Someone Feed Phil with Phil Rosenthal.
Oh.
He travels, does a lot of, he's very quirky. I don't know if he was the writer or director of Everyone Loves Raymond.
Oh, he is
okay,
funny.
Okay.
He is funny.
In fact, he's going to be here on my birthday, and that's what I wanted to go.
At your house?
No, at 20 Monroe Live or GLC Live.
If you don't go
in Grand
anywhere, let's
Rapids.
do that.
It
That would be
was
fun.
I really want to go see him and find a way to meet him. But anyways, so I watch a lot of that. And then for some reason Netflix thought that I needed to watch Super Sex.
It's the algorithm.
I don't know. I don't buy into all that stuff because that's not what I'm searching.
It's listening to you
all the time. But
It's
it's checking your search pattern.
and it's about some Italian porn guy, Rocco.
Yeah.
But the first episode,
Algorithm.
I mean, it's a steamy. It looks like it's steamy. I'm only a couple episodes in. But I mean, there's actual story involved with it, and the story of stardom and what comes along with that and stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got all the way into it, but it did pop up on my recommended watch list.
I like those stories. And, like quite often we see somebody who's famous, in this case, porn star. But most other people's cases, it's like a movie star or a
Right.
singer. But, and you don't know their backstory. You don't know how they got to where they got. It's crazy. Like, I still have been meaning to watch the Freddie Mercury story. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, my kid went and seen it at one of our, outdoor film showing things that we have here in Grand Rapids, and I really do want to watch it. I know there's tons to his story. I mean, I already know bits and pieces about his story, but that's always one I want to talk about. Speaking about sexy guys,
Freddie
Yeah,
Mercury?
I think he was sexy. I know I wasn't his type, and he wasn't mine, but that's okay.
I don't know. I couldn't get over those teeth.
The teeth were a thing.
I am a teeth girl, and now.
You are a teeth. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into.
We're going to skip down to questions, or do we
Yeah.
want to talk
Yes.
about
Good.
embarrassing life moments?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I missed that. What you got, Ryan?
Are you guys going to share something too, or am I the only one?
You're the only one. I've done nothing embarrassing.
I can't think of
I'm Mary
anything
Poppins.
myself
Okay,
either.
we'll skip that one then.
yeah.
We'll circle back. Ryan will
Yeah.
tell that
Circle
story
back.
later on.
Maybe when we do the reach around,
We were
circle back.
We were trying to think of our own questions here, and of course we were like, what are we willing to share online or about our embarrassing? And I'm not kidding. I have one. I'll wait until you share your high school story.
Do you want to go back to it? Just do it?
Maybe later.
Okay.
Because I don't have one yet.
See, we got to wait for Joe. All right. So, ChatGPT gave us a few questions, and we are going to see how time goes with us answering these questions. I think we're going to be able to, in case you guys haven't figured, we play off of each other really well. We have a good way of generating ideas and thoughts and memories that, when we're talking with each other. So,
They're not always clean memories and thoughts, though.
no, but
we're
there's no
gonna-
editing.
No editing. So
Free
it's
and
all
open.
fucking
It's
in this time.
all fair and love, war, and
Whiskey.
4 samplings of whiskey by the time we're done here.
Oh,
So,
boy.
all right. So let's start off with an easy one. I'll take this first one for you guys. Joe, if you could only eat one food item for the rest of your life, but it had to be covered in chocolate, what would it be and why?
No.
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 Talk.
It's ice cream. I'm gonna be good. I'm so gonna be good. I am on pins and needles.
Just you're worried about what I'm going to say?
I am not worried about you. So Eve can worry about you. I am not getting in trouble. So Ryan,
Yeah.
what about you? Food item can only be covered in chocolate.
One food item the rest of your life. So Joe's going to be sitting on dairy. Apparently she doesn't have any dairy
I do have
problems.
dairy allergies.
But she chose ice cream
I did.
because she's just avoiding the rest of the subjects.
And I
So-
will tell you, I asked Eve, and Eve is popcorn.
Okay.
But me, frozen bananas.
Interesting.
That's if I think of chocolate, I love chocolate covered frozen bananas. That's my thing.
Interesting. That is a good thing. So
Where I was going. That's, I was
thank
like, are
God
you
we
not
don't have
telling me
video
something?
yet. So for me, I'm just gonna tell you guys what popped in my head. Steak.
Chocolate covered steak?
Yes. And I was
Gross.
like, why would that pop in my head? And then I was like, isn't there
They're both brown.
like a chili cacao or something that goes on meat, like beef or something? There's a chocolate sauce or something.
Mole.
There you go.
I was thinking Hershey.
There you go.
I was like, Hershey chocolate syrup on top of steak. Negative, Ghost Rider.
I live with Sarah. She's fancy.
Uh-oh. So what would be the most disgusting thing that you would dip in chocolate and eat? Because I had a thought of pickles would be just fucking terrible.
That would be grody.
Oh, but I like pickles.
I do too.
With chocolate?
I know.
A cockroach.
Ooh, but they do that.
I
Yeah,
know.
they
South
do.
America.
I saw a Fear Factor.
Like
I
South
mean,
America,
chocolate-
they eat a lot of bugs. And
Chocolate. Yeah. That's a thing. Like, isn't that a survivalist thing? Like,
Gross.
Bear Grylls does that stuff. But like, there are menu items in South America that places that eat a lot of ants, bugs, grasshoppers, or whatever.
yeah.
There was the Grand Rapids Museum had some little worms that they had that were flavored, and the kids bought those when we were there when they were younger.
Oh, gross.
They were a little crunchy.
Like real worms?
They were like mealworms or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, the grossest thing
Fruits, vegetables.
I know I just tend
hot
to go
dogs.
to vegetables.
What if
like,
somebody put a hot dog in chocolate? That would be kind of disgusting.
Oh, the salt on the salt of it. I mean, if it's like a salty chocolate, like
Ooh.
I don't
Yeah.
know. They do some things, and
Joe's face is like, okay, let's move on. I'm getting sick here.
chocolate covered regular corn, cream corn. Oh, okay, that's
Okay.
mine. All right, we're
Okay,
ready.
Joe, what's the weirdest dream you've ever had that you're willing to share with us?
How come
on the
I always
air?
have to keep going first?
Because we want you to set the tone.
Well, it's going to be clean unless somebody else starts it out.
Go, Ryan, go.
All right, Ryan.
Weirdest dreams?
Weirdest dreams.
That you're willing to admit.
It doesn't say sexy dreams or
No.
anything like that.
That's
It's
where
weird.
that's where my head went.
Yeah,
my head goes there too. And I've had a few of those. Everybody has.
that kind
But-
of question does lend to a little.
But that's not weird. That's
Right.
like a natural thing.
It is.
Weird. So I have two dreams that I had a lot when I was younger that were recurring. One was my teeth crumbling. Have you ever had that?
Like
Like,
you're eating something and like
Yeah.
everything like
Yeah.
crumbles.
so that's
Wow.
one. Actually,
awful.
I have three dreams.
That's a nightmare.
Then the other one is riding a roller coaster that falls off the tracks when you're
I've had
at
that
the
one.
top of the. That's scary shit.
I have had that one. Or like, have you had it where you're at the top of the roller coaster track and your like seat thing
belt
that's holding
comes
you
off.
in and it just pops up and you're like
Yeah,
heading down the hill with nothing holding you in
yeah,
but the gravity.
yeah.
Oh, God.
That's our life's going out of control. That would be an interesting podcast episode. Is if we found somebody that analyzed dreams.
Ooh,
And
interpreters.
I have a book upstairs that
Oh.
I've been through, but
You know, that reminds me of the episode we're going to have coming up with our friend Elizabeth. I think that's going to be a really interesting one. It's almost along the lines of interpreting dreams. So stay tuned to that for our listeners.
what about you, Joe?
Yeah, it's your turn.
You know, well, it's kind of a twofold. So, speaking of the roller coasters, I've always had like this fear and these dreams of the harness not being secured. So, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, I went on this ride. It was called Slingshot. It was down in Florida. And you get in it, and I got in with a lady, and they hooked you up, sling you in it, and then they like pull you back and sling you in
Oh,
the air
yeah,
like you're
yeah.
a slingshot.
Yeah, I've read one of those.
I hate them. Don't ever do it. That's how I found out what I have wrong with me. But when he got me all in it, he acted like it wasn't attached. So immediately my anxiety started flying and I was scared to death. So I thought I was taking off and I wasn't locked in. So not only was he playing on that fear of when I had those nightmares, but then of that moment in time right there. So it was not a fun experience. I didn't like it. That's their kind of thing. I was watching tapes of people after. That's kind of what they do, and it's not a fun experience. So if I told anybody, never go on a slingshot ride.
But you know what? And I'm going back to what all these videos things on Instagram think I want to watch. Mm-hmm. Is girls in bikinis getting slingshotted and bouncing. I'm serious. It's like once a month I'll get these, and it's like 3 in a row that when I'm swiping through the videos, it's like, oh, amusement park. And I think it started when I was in Florida a month ago, Josie and I, and my friend I had met at the Butcher's Union.
Yeah.
We had dinner at this steakhouse, and I think we talked about this. And we were pretty looped when we left. And he got me on the swing in Icon Park in Florida, and it went up like fucking 500 feet. It wasn't that much, but it felt like that when you're drunk. And ever since then, it's like amusement park rides. I get a lot of amusement park rides, like showing up in my roller coasters, swings, and that slingshot thing. But for some reason, the slingshot thing is always people with their boobs bouncing up and down.
Interesting. You know, Joe, I've seen, I don't know if it's the same place that you went to, but I've seen enough of those videos where they're freaking somebody out saying they're not buckled in or their things coming out. And I, you know, it's funny to watch that enough, but honestly, I don't enjoy watching that because I think of what those people, even for 5 seconds before they realize everything is okay. But I don't know. That's too serious to be messing with people. Like,
yeah, it's a scary ride. It sends people they pass out. I mean, it messes with you because of I would have never been a fighter jet pilot, but I mean, hats off to people who can do that. But
I mean, that may be another topic for us is fears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I got to hit us up. It's 30 minutes in, and it's time for a reach around. Number 2 for the day.
All right.
What are we doing, Thee?
Well, Ryan, we talked about this a little bit in our previous episode, but over the last week, you and I discovered the Old Forester single barrel, the store pick from One Bourbon. This stuff is awesome. You know, you and I were sitting there. Tyler made the recommendation, the bartender. He described it in such a beautiful, beautiful way. And you and I took our first sips, and I don't know if I'll ever forget that you and I just raised the eyebrows and go, that's good.
And that was the best. Like you had asked him, we want to know what the best flavored bourbon you have here.
Right.
And he recommended this, and I have to agree with him.
Oh, it was beautiful. I wish I had recorded him describing it and the way that he enjoyed the flavors. But yeah, so you and I walked out that night. We shared a steak, a beautiful smoked ribeye.
bitches.
Yep. Joe loves that smoked ribeye. But I mean, and then we each, I think, had 2 pours of this, and then we got our bill. About crapped our pants because the sticker shock, but then we realized that we each bought a bottle of the Old Forester to take with us and breathed our way through the rest of the exercise.
Well, and I think the thing that made me shit my pants was he had the total amount of our tab on the top, and then it was split out below that. So when
because we cut it in half.
We cut it in half, but it had the total amount of the bill on top with 2 bottles and all we had to drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, something's not right here. And then I looked down, and it was split in half. I was like,
Woo. I was like, man, if we spent that much times 2, I don't think
this
Eve and Sarah are ever going to let us go out by ourselves again.
Well, I saw Eve's bill the same night. Last night was... she was at like Morton's Steakhouse in Indianapolis. No, St. Elmo's Steakhouse in Indianapolis. Her bill was about as bad as mine last night at Butcher's Union. So,
oh boy, this is good.
This is hot. I mean, proof-wise, it's not though. I mean, it's 129.8, so 64.9. But it doesn't taste. Proof. It's a good proof, but it doesn't taste as hot as like I've had some that are under 100 that taste stronger than this.
Yeah.
Joe's looking pained again.
No.
Just drink more.
I will. No, this is good. I like it. I really, really like it.
Is that like you're just tasting it, pained look?
It is.
You mentioned that before.
No, and this is good. I just like to taste all the flavors and the things that I'm trying to pick up. It is definitely a one that needs a cube for me.
Yeah.
But no, it's
Pour
good.
some water in there.
It's good.
There's no cubes left. Anything else we want to talk about on the Old Forester, or is it we're good?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're good. We've got our reach around. We're ready to get back into our questions. Yes.
So
I'm not going first.
I was scrolling, and we already read the weirdest dreams, but
Yeah.
I read that
What?
as the wettest dream, and I was
I mean, I
wait.
didn't
don't
tell you
remember
mine.
that.
Yeah, we didn't hear hers.
Yep, I didn't tell you mine. I don't remember my dreams. I'm one of those people, but
Really?
yeah, when I do remember them, it's maybe once a year, and I usually wake up, and it's fresh as a fresh. It's like in my head, and I feel whatever emotion is tied to that dream, and then I forget it. Go back to sleep or get up for the day, and 1 hour later, it is gone.
Same way.
I do remember one time I had a dream, and again, I don't remember the context of the dream. I feel like likely Sarah had done something in the dream because I was so mad at her for like a day and a half, and I could not, and it had everything to do with how I felt about whatever happened in that dream. And I just remember just that feeling. I don't think I let on very much to her because Lord knows I knew in my head she hadn't done anything. But I'm like,
Right.
Dreams can really mess with your head. Even if you can't remember what they were about, they can,
Set your mood for the day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I've had that happen.
I
before,
think that
too.
is such a wicked weird thing. You know,
I've
mine's are
also
scary.
I have a lot of dreams, and I hope this is kind of foreshadowing, but I have a lot of dreams I win the lottery. And it's like I'll go in and it's like, seriously, I read them off and I'm like, okay, I know this isn't a dream. Like I feel, and I even say to myself in the dream, this isn't a dream, but it's a dream. So I know at some point maybe that's coming.
Damn it.
I mean, I'll take care of my friends. I'm a giver.
You are.
Oh. All right, Joe, what do you want to pick for the next question?
Yeah, you get to read to us, Joe.
Okay, so Athena,
Yep.
if you
God.
could replace all the grass in the world with something else, what would it be and why?
I know you want to answer this question. This is the question Joe wants to answer first. She's
It
already
is.
got her answer plugged for this one.
Hands down, I do.
And just on a side note, for our listeners, we did go over these questions because we wanted to just view them and kind of think through, can I come up with a
We didn't
response
discuss
to that?
answers, though.
We did not discuss answers. Right. We just know that Joe got excited about that question, so Joe's pretty excited to do it. So if I could replace all the grass in the world with something else, well, what would so there's a lot of grass. So we're in Michigan and we have nice grass here. I would replace it with money. Yeah. To what you
Money?
said about lottery. Yeah. Yeah. Because you know what? Money is the bane of all of the freaking evil in the world. And if the grass was if money was growing like grass grows around the world,
But then it wouldn't be worth anything.
That's a true statement.
I shot your...
And then we'd be into crypto or something crazy
I
like
thought
that.
I had such a great and peaceful response.
Don't
you
worry.
guys.
Don't worry, we'll ruin it.
All right, Joe, you go ahead. I'll think about it and see if I can come up with a better one.
Okay, wait, so remember, I'm 5. I would replace all the grass with cotton candy.
Wouldn't it all melt when it rains?
And then
You shit on my parade, I'm coming back.
but then it would
I
be
love it.
it'd still be good.
All's
Tasty.
fair.
It would be
Yeah.
tasty.
It would.
Cotton candy. It would make me so
would.
happy.
It would.
Okay, we'll come back to you. How about you, Ryan?
So this is going to be weird, but
Here we go.
I would replace it with corn. You know why?
To
No.
make bourbon.
Because corn makes bourbon.
Bum, bum.
Whiskey.
Where's the sound effects? Yes.
That's the clean version of what I would replace it with.
Yeah, I like this other version too.
Jello.
Shots.
Yes.
All right. So, Ryan, if you had to live in a TV show for a month,
Oh, don't ask me this one.
why'd you leave it on the list?
Because I was hoping you guys would answer it first.
I'm gonna go. You could ask Joe.
Oh, Joe's ready.
Okay,
if you
go
could
ahead.
live in a TV show for a month, which would you do? Which would you live in?
You know, I would want to live in MacGyver.
Ah, that's a good show.
I would
I
want
get
to.
it.
I would.
You're showing
I-
our age again, though.
That's okay. He came back later, like 5 years ago. But all this cool shit he used to be able to do and all the places he used to be able to go, and he'd save people. What a cool job.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun show. All right, Rye.
Well,
Passing the buck.
My initial thought, because the original way this was written was, which would be the worst for you? And my response to that was like Beverly Hills 90210, because
Handmaid's Tale.
Nothing wrong with 90210.
Handmaid's Tale would have been fine. But if I had to live in one with a positive note, I think it would have been fun to live in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is like the
Bougie.
opposite of Beverly Hills 90210, right? It's like real world, funny, bougie. Oh my gosh.
Will Smith is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Will Smith.
And that supporting cast, I mean, if that was your family or
So why would
someone in
you-
your life, like,
So I'm asking, why would you not live in 90210?
too dramatic.
That was an emotional
Oh.
roller coaster for us in high
It
school.
was. Like, and honestly, when we were in high school, there wasn't a ton of shows. I'm going to refrain from aging myself, but
I will tell you.
you already did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good show. I loved that show then. It was so
Who's your
sad.
favorite?
It was so sad.
Who was your favorite?
My favorite? Honestly, Luke Perry.
Me too. You know what it was? It was his eyebrow.
His eyebrow?
So he was my favorite in that show a few years ago, back when it was on. And then lo and behold, I meet and get to know the Ryan Julian we have sitting before us today. And there's really quite a interesting tie that Ryan told me about. And Ryan, how did you connect with Beverly Hills 90210?
So for me, Luke is my second cousin.
Oh, wow. Yep.
And I didn't get to see him a lot growing up. I'm awesome friends and stuff with his brother Tom, and but for me, that was kind of my living. I don't know how to say it. I wasn't part of the show, but knowing he was family and blood, like I felt like I was part of the show. And I saw him maybe once the whole time, he was doing that.
Yeah.
But it was like I felt a connection with all those people. But knowing that, like, all my friends would come over and we'd watch. Not all of them, but a lot
Right.
of friends would come over.
You didn't have
and
any friends anyway.
I didn't. Not at all.
Just kidding.
But I don't know. That was it. And so, I mean, and that was
Yeah.
my way of staying connected with him, even though we weren't close and
Yeah.
had only seen him a couple times since then.
Is that where people say, like, vicarious? I live vicariously through somebody or something like that? Like, or I experienced that vicariously because they did and they told me and I felt like I was there?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. That might
But-
be what you were kind of...
Yeah, but like I said, his brother Tom and I are, every time I go to Dallas, we meet up and love him to death. He's a big Buckeye fan and great guy. So
What about you, Ryan? Like,
I thought we were going to avoid. What was the question?
if you had to live in a TV show, because Joe's over there in MacGyver world, I'm going to hang out in Fresh Prince world.
I'm going to surprise you because it's not like a drama or anything like that. Like, if I could be on Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations,
Oh.
that would be the life I want.
Traveling
Like,
the
if
world,
I could travel the
eating
world,
food.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
telling stories,
Yes.
like that's I just thought of that, and
It's a good one.
it's not Anthony
See?
or Andrew Zimmern and Bizarre Foods. I couldn't do that.
Oh, he ate some weird stuff.
shit. But
Yeah.
I listened. I think we talked about this. I listened to Anthony Bourdain's book, and now I can't Kitchen Confidentials or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And it's weird because even if I'm reading stuff he's written, I can hear it in his voice in my head. Mm-hmm. And we definitely lost
Distinctive.
him too early.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the people I would love to meet if I could have at some point. But great storyteller and just loved the life that he got to live traveling, eating,
Agree.
and interviewing people.
He was very entertaining. Yeah. He was.
Yep.
knowledgeable about what he talked about. He made things divisive and fun and
Relatable.
interesting. Yeah. Sarah's brother Andy loved Anthony Bourdain, just loved him. And then Sarah was, being thoughtful for Christmas, and this past Christmas, found this awesome piece of artwork with Anthony Bourdain on it and picked it up and bought it for him. And it was received really well. And yeah, Andy still misses, that impact on his life, I'm sure, like a lot of people do.
So back to TV shows I've been watching.
Yeah.
I do rewatch a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I always loved it.
Whether you want to pay attention to it or just play it in the background, that's a good stuff to rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to switch it up for our next question and kind of cheer things back up again.
All right, let's do it.
I was like, I'm going to tell you a joke
Come on.
if we don't switch.
Yeah, we got
questions.
dad jokes
Are
I
you
got to switch to here coming up, but
Are you going to the strangest thing in public?
no.
Oh, man. That was fun.
What would be, and I had to get some family input on this one, what would be the worst buy one, get one free sale of all time? So Eli messaged me back, and he said, the kidney removal surgery would probably be a bad thing because obviously you'd be out of kidneys if it was buy one, get one free. Eve suggested coffins, but I don't know what the hell you would do with 2 coffins.
That is her
She'd
point.
take you with her.
She would. I bet that's why she
Yep.
said that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. Peace out. What about you, Joe?
Huh.
Nothing coming to mind?
No.
I'm cheating.
You using ChatGPT?
Nope, just Google. Just plain old, Oh, my gosh.
It
No.
says it's time for the reach around on our notes. We already did that, though,
but
didn't we?
we did that, yeah.
Yep, we did that.
So while Thena's looking and cheating, what's worse than waking up at a party and finding a penis drawn on your face?
Oh, Lord, Joe.
Finding out it was traced.
See, Coco
liked
even
it.
liked that
He
one,
did.
too.
Thanks, Cocoa Beans.
Oh, my Lord.
All right, I think your family stole stuff off of Google because caskets on here. Eve.
Eve, were you cheating?
No, actually, I bet you Eve came up with it. I don't think Eve
Yeah,
cheats.
she doesn't use ChatGPT.
I got another joke.
Go for it.
Okay. I just want you guys to know that crowded elevators smell different to midgets.
Little people, Joe.
Or little people. I mean, I'm bordering it.
Thanks for letting us know.
We're
Okay,
avoiding
okay.
insulting ourselves,
not-
but we'll insult everyone else along the way.
I am not gonna jump down this this rabbit trail, but this is the worst BOGO ever.
Okay.
Make America Great Again hats.
Wait, say that again?
At the worst BOGO sale would be if you had to buy one and you got one free, Make America Great Again hats. Yeah. Bad sale.
Bad sale.
Yep. Not going down there. These are bad. Root canal, dinner of liver and onions. Okay, we need a new question.
Okay, hold on. I've got more dad jokes here.
Because I got another joke to break
Save
this
us,
shit up.
save us.
Go, Joe.
What's the difference between your wife and your job?
Uh-oh.
After 5 years, your job will still suck.
Ooh.
Dad joke.
Dad jokes. What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear.
Oh, my freaking God. I knew that one. Dang it.
All right, so Sarah's introduced us to Aunt Diane jokes, and so I gotta find one of those for you guys, because right now I can't remember. I told you it before, but
You still looking? Can I read mine?
yep. Go for it.
What do you call a fake spaghetti? An impasta.
That was your Italian.
I like
For
it.
those of you who can't see Ryan, there was a beautiful Godfather holding his fingers together Italian going on. Okay, Aunt Diane joke of the day. I'm sitting next to my husband and I say I love you. My husband says, "Is that you talking or the wine?" I reply, I'm talking to the wine.
Or we could say whiskey, or we could say anything but the wife
Yeah.
or husband. Yeah. Okay. Back to our topics.
Yep.
And then we'll come back to more dad jokes. What is the strangest thing you've ever seen someone do in public, Thee?
I have seen, I mean, it's like strangest, but it's still natural. You know, I've seen a couple having some relations in a parking lot on a very busy street right down the middle of our town. You know,
Homeless population or not homeless
not
population?
homeless population, but very good question. Very good
Which
question.
street? Can we ask what street it was on?
It was Division Street,
Oh.
which years ago used to be on the other end of that street, very heavily populated by a group of
Working professionals?
working class individuals. Exactly. Exactly. But this was the opposite end. And yeah, I'd have to say it was a little bit strange for me. How about you, Ryan?
So this just popped in my head.
Pop.
Oh, I have two stories then.
I have one too.
So
Okay.
remind me of
Okay.
the pop. Okay,
Oh,
I got to do the first
I
one.
just led you into that.
I know,
you
but
led yourself.
this guy was popping it too. I was in Calgary for work and
Canada?
Canada,
Canada.
and we had a day off, and we went up hiking up to the glacier, and we walked. I mean, we were hiking for over an hour, and we got up, and we're kind of out nowhere. I mean, we're way up, not a lot of people. Walked out of the woods up to the side of the glacier, and there was some guy just giving it to his girlfriend, we'll say, or wife, or whatever.
Okay. See?
And
Oh, okay. Yours was stranger than
I mean,
location.
but there's like no one around, so I get it, right?
Yeah.
And then he just looks over while he's still going and is like, "Hey."
Cheerio.
I was like,
Oh, no, that's British.
What the hell?
Cheerio.
It is.
How does
so we just kept walking,
Yeah.
but he never stopped. Like, no stopping a stride. He was continued.
All right. So moving on to that popped
Well, did Joe have
in your
one?
mind.
I did. So when I was younger, I was in the car and I was going home and we came to a stoplight on the corner. It was in Muskegon. No. And I looked up at this, like it was a bar and above it people lived up there. There's like apartments. And I looked up in the up top and there's this naked guy. And I maybe was 10, 11. And there he is standing there, hands on his hips for the world to see. And
That's when you
like-
said, "I'm gay."
that is absolutely,
so just,
I'm gay.
Again, here I am connecting for our visually impaired audio podcast listeners who can't see Joe. She's kind of got her hands on her hip and her chin's up. It's a very much like a Superman.
That was. That's what he looked like. I was like, oh my goodness gracious. I'm like,
Yes.
We had a similar story to that in Chicago. Eve and the kids and I were there or no, it may have just been Eve and I. Went to a restaurant before we went to a play, and there was a lady doing her hair up in the apartment, like across the street from the restaurant we were at. And she did the same thing. She had her hair up in the towel and come walking over to the window, just kind of prancing with her bosoms
Supergirl.
hanging out, fully naked. And went and sat down, and Coco, it's a real story.
Coco said,
No,
lies.
don't talk. And she just sat there and did her hair and stuff right in the window where everybody could see her. I know she had to know. I mean, there were
Right.
no curtains in that place. So back to the pop. So
Yeah.
I won't say the name of the restaurant, but Thea and I were out another night this week.
That's right.
We did 2 nights this week, didn't we?
bitches.
Sorry, buddy.
I think we did.
Did we?
Yeah, you did too.
Wednesday
Well, we
night.
went to one place. We started there, and then we went to the
We were
other
at
all
One
on the same
Bourbon
night.
and then the other place. Oh, it was the same night.
Yeah,
That's right. It wasn't 2 nights. It was
All
the
right,
same
I'll take
night.
it back.
just one night.
Yeah. Anyways, I got there and sitting at the bar, and there was this guy around the corner that was, I swear to God, he was popping zits while he was sitting there looking at his computer. And I
Right.
wanted to puke.
So Ryan's waiting for me because I had an appointment prior to meeting up with him, and he's like, I don't know if I want to stay here. He's like, this guy out at the end of the bar is just sitting here picking his zits, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, Ryan, you're being so dramatic. He's probably just sitting there like, just like itching his face or something. And then I get there, I talk to Ryan for a few minutes, and then Ryan's like, that's the guy I was telling you about. And I look, and the guy he like full-fledged, like, when you're in the mirror and you're like trying so hard, and you're on the mirror and you're in your private
He was like trying to
space.
find it.
That's gross.
Oh, it was bad.
And then he popped
we're like,
and
we gotta go.
picked. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
we gotta go.
Oh, God, this is disgusting.
Gotta go.
Okay, so I think we're about to the wrap-up point.
Yeah, we are. Yep. So we had a great time. I mean, I had a great time.
It went faster. I
yeah.
didn't think
It
we
did.
could fill an hour of chat with this, but
We fill hours and hours. This is exactly why we got together to, do this podcast, is because we talk to each other. We fill in each other's,
Yep.
I don't know, we flow so well. And thank you all to all of our listeners for, kind of taking this journey with us, where we tried something a little new, a little less planned out, a little bit more
Cerebral.
a little bit more of a free flow. I mean, I'll be honest, it wasn't completely comfortable for myself. Like I wanted to kind of have like more outline material, more thought process, but I love the idea too of asking just like spontaneous questions of each other. And when Joe thinks of something and it reminds me of something, or Ryan does the same thing, I think we're pretty, I don't know, cohesive. That's a good word.
Or
You
something.
got a good word?
And we gel together.
Yeah.
We definitely have a thing.
Yeah.
So
All right.
check us out on Instagram at It Starts With Whiskey. Rye Guy Whiskey.
GR.
Oh, sorry.
You got it.
And,
Show the experience.
And Whiskey Thee.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll talk to you all in a couple weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.